It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 25th day of August, 2021. We're amidst of the heat wave here in Virginia that started elsewhere in the country, and after we had a few days of cooler weather and some rain. It's going to be 95 here today, and this is going to be the cool day for the next week. So I'm hoping to go out to the pool this afternoon. I'm not supposed to get in it till tomorrow. However, I may push that a day just because it's going to be so blooming hot. All right, want to look at the weather first thing before we get to our guest for today. And that, of course, has to do with the Atlantic. First, a broad area of low pressure is expected to form over the Western Caribbean over the next few days from what's still a tropical wave currently located over the Central Caribbean Sea. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form in the next day or two. Definitely by the weekend, we'll have to watch this system. It's kind of aimed similar to the Grace directions, moving over the Caribbean, probably across Yucatan, the Western Gulf, and into the main part of Mexico by the end of the weekend. Very similar to the path that Grace took. Talking about formation in the next 48 hours of being low at 30%, but the next 5 days at very high at 50%. Now that's the first a yellow X toward right off South America. Now the one up that's kind of at the top of the triangle of the three yellow X's there is going to follow a very similar path to Henri's. The early part of Henri. A broad trough of low pressure is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms over central tropical Atlantic, about 1,000 miles northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. Slow development of this system is expected during the next day or so due to unfavorable upper level winds. So that's kind of following like Henri did, aiming generally toward Bermuda. And they say over the next 5 days, 70% chance of further formation on it as well. The one closest to Africa is a tropical wave in the far eastern tropical Atlantic, located several hundred miles southwest of Cabo Verde Islands, producing disorganized area of showers and thunderstorms. Some development is possible over the next few days, but they're saying only 30% over the next 5 days. So we kind of have to, watch that with a little bit of a grain of salt for now. And then out in the Pacific, we just have the one storm now. Finally, Marty is gone. Shower and thunderstorms are becoming better organized and associated with a low pressure area located a couple hundred miles south of the southern coast of Mexico. Recent satellite wind data indicate that the system does not currently have a well-defined circulation. Environmental conditions remain conducive for additional development, and a tropical depression is expected to form during the next day or so. System is forecast to move west to west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles an hour this week, remaining offshore of the coast. They're saying 90% chance for further formation. So most definitely that's going to be something we have to watch. It is going to pass up the coast of Mexico to the point where surf and wind is definitely going to be a factor. And of course, some rain too. So we got to keep our eyes on that. Okay, most of you know, that's a terrible picture of Miss Emma, but most of you know I interviewed Emma actually on Monday with her schedule and my schedule. And of course, I had Bubba already scheduled for yesterday's live stream. So we had to tape the interview with Emma. I think she is going to be live on JJ Cruise maybe next hour, as a matter of fact. But anyway, this is from my interview with Emma, which was actually on Monday after one of my technical disasters. My guest today on Chillie Chats is Emma Latisse of Emma Cruises. Emma, welcome back to Chillie Chats.
Hi, Chillie. Nice to be here again.
In case you're wondering what we're giggling about, we started this off and everything went to hell. What happened? Yeah,
we were talking fine, yeah. And then Chillie turned into a robot briefly, and I had no idea. But he's back. It's fine. Okay.
Back some time ago, you did an absolutely brilliant piece about the Scarlet Lady. And it was one of the things that ended up making you so literally worldwide popular as you are. But you wrote a rather scathing piece about the Scarlet Lady way back when, before the pandemic.
Yep.
Now you've just come off a sailing of the Scarlet Lady.
Yes, I have.
What's your opinion of her now?
Okay, so I originally went on the ship start of 2020 for a kind of trade preview. The ship really wasn't finished at that point. I think it was strange that they decided to show her to us. And I kind of commented that for the price, I just didn't see the match. They wanted to charge a lot of money for what I thought was like kind of a quirky Royal Caribbean or like a quirky mainstream cruise line, but they wanted to charge like Disney Viking kind of prices. So I said in that review, there's certain things I don't like. The swimming pool's tiny, there's no storage, those things are still the same. But I said if it was kind of a normal price, it's just a quirky, that would be fine. Then pandemic happened. They pretty much halved their prices. And I saw a cruise, it was 3 nights, a bit more than I would usually pay, but it included soft drinks, Wi-Fi, a balcony. It was a decent price. So I thought I need to get on here and try it for myself. And I did. Last weekend, I just got back on Monday.
And you liked it a lot better.
I mean, yeah, it was good. It was strange. And I feel like after that weekend on the cruise, I need like a week on Princess or something to like come back down and relax again. But I think for the price I paid, like I got my money's worth out of it. The thing is I felt like before Virgin were all about, like tattoo parlors, drag queens, all of these things about how they're so different. And I went on board and I was like, this is actually quite a good, just a normal cruise product. Like the food is really good. The staff are really good. Why was that like not promoted? Because even if you're like a normal cruiser, I think you would still like it, but they were really going for the we're so different kind of marketing. So even if you're a normal cruiser, like, it's really not that different.
Yeah. We thought at first that they were definitely targeting the millennial market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think now that maybe they're going after old folks like me?
Well, I don't know, because I thought the same thing. When kind of all the initial advertising came out, it was the most beautiful 18 to 25, no one over 25, amazing kind of people, didn't even look real. And I think, I mean, it was normal kind of cruise passengers on this cruise, maybe a bit younger, but you get a bit younger on a weekend cruise anyway. So we had people literally from 18 to 80s and 90s on that cruise. It wasn't like this 18 to 30 kind of party where everyone is Instagrammable and beautiful. It was just maybe a slightly younger demographic, probably the same as a Carnival cruise, something like that. But they need to get the people that have the money and can afford the cruises. And that's kind of the thing that confused me initially. I was thinking, who is 18 and has this much money to spend on a cruise? Because I'm their target market and I don't. Thankfully, they have reduced their prices, which helps a lot, but still.
My advice to people has been, you got to take Virgin with an open mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
it's definitely a quirky one. If you're somebody who is going to be offended by a bit of innuendo and some of the things on the daily schedule you will not see on other cruise lines. If that's not for you, some people do think kind of, the ice cream parlor is called Lick Me Till Ice Cream. Yeah. And you have the people who say, oh, that's such bad taste, that's tacky, I hate it. And then you have the people that think that's really funny. But that's kind of what everything is like. Like, it's just a normal thing, but it's a bit of a quirky spin on things we know.
Yeah. All right. Enough for Scarlet Lady.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dying to ask you about what you thought about sailing again. I think it's again for you on the Celebrity Silhouette. Weren't you on that recently?
Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear Hudson's cat food feed going off, but that does mean Hudson will probably appear in a minute, my cat.
I know.
But I took my first cruise on Celebrity Silhouette in 2018, and then I took another in 2021. After they had spent millions and millions of pounds refurbishing it. The first cruise I took was kind of a weekend party cruise. Everybody was drunk. It was great, but it wasn't really a proper celebrity cruise. And then when I went back on board, they've really refurbished all of the public areas and the big lounges, and they've added loads of seating areas, and it's very, very just comfortable and kind of classy. That's what I feel like the ship is like. It's a really nice ship. I liked it the first time, but then when I was looking at my stuff afterwards, I was like, they've made it a lot better.
Yeah, I've never been on Celebrity. That was one that I got canceled out on during the pandemic. Yeah. Now, of course, I can't cruise, at least for the short term, until with the oxygen business.
Yeah.
Nobody's accepting, at least on this side of the pond. No, nobody will let you on with oxygen right now.
Yeah. Same.
Definitely, I want to get on Celebrity. Definitely.
Yeah. I think you would really like it. It's all very comfortable. Like, the Virgin ship was great, but it's very kind of minimalistic designs and sharp corners and kind of, very kind of modern design. Whereas the Celebrity ones, they're still modern, but everything is comfortable. You know what I mean? You feel very kind of at home on the Celebrity ships.
What's ahead for Emma?
What is ahead for me? So
what's your schedule like?
Well, I'm taking a Princess cruise, which is brilliant because you know how much I love Princess. That one's going to be like, it just feels like going home, going on a Princess cruise. And I have booked a Disney cruise, which isn't something I thought I would ever do. But we've got a Disney ship here this summer. I'm here. Normally, the prices of Disney cruises just make me feel ill. But I thought, this is my chance. As it is here, I don't have to fly to the US. The cost is what it is. I'm going to try it. I always get asked kind of on the live streams and things, what do you think about Disney? So I'm giving it a go. I'm doing a short Disney cruise, but I don't know what to expect, to be honest.
How do you feel about the short cruises now that you've been on several?
I really like them. I mean, the one I did on Virgin was 3 nights, but we didn't get on until after 5 p.m. So it was kind of like an evening and 2 days in reality, which did feel very short. But with that one, it was over a weekend. So if you do have to take time off work, you'd only have to take, a Friday or half a Friday even to get there in the evening. So it means you can fit in a lot more kind of little cruises and try different stuff out. It would be nice to do longer kind of on the Valiant Lady or Scarlet Lady, somewhere warm, I think. But it's nice to test it for a few days.
I've always done 7 or more, but now I'm starting to look at the fact that, wow, maybe I need to try some short cruises, even though I know I'm not going to be able to do everything I want to do in that 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
but
it is nice.
That's a whole nother marketplace.
I would do short cruises anyway before this. So this isn't the first time I've done, 3-night cruises. So I kind of knew what to expect. It's definitely different to do a 3-night cruise versus doing a 7-night cruise, because I didn't even unpack for my Virgin cruise, because by the time you unpack, you have to pack again. So just live out the suitcase.
So, what does Hudson do when you're on a cruise?
He stays here. I think he's happier if just I leave and everything else stays the same. So his life carries on exactly the same. I don't know if he misses me. I don't think so, but who knows?
All right, now I do have one important question that I'm dying to find the answer to.
Okay.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. I try never to put a guest on the spot.
Okay.
But today I'm putting Emma on the spot. Rate the Scarlet Lady's cookies.
Oh, high. 8 out of 10, I think, because on that ship, cookies is a dessert listed on the menu, which I've never found anywhere else before. I went in Razzle Dazzle, which is the vegan, vegetarian-y kind of place, and one of the desserts is just cookies and milk, like a jar of cookies. So I had like 3 filled cookies. I don't know, they're filled with fruit and stuff. 3 big cookies actually on there, and they're not the only cookies I had. I found other ones around the ship too, in the buffet, in the cafe, quite a lot. But Princess have always been my number one spot. But I haven't cruised with them for a while, so I'm looking forward to trying them again and seeing how they stand up. They were good, yeah, nice.
Awesome. All right, Emma, I know you've got a busy schedule today, and I'm going to go try to get in the pool, although I can't swim for another 4 days yet from having the port business removed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go walk around in the pool since it's 94 degrees here. So anyway, Emma, thank you so much for being with us. It's good to catch up again, and we'll do it again real soon.
You're very welcome. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Emma. See you later. That, of course, was Emma Latisse of Emma Cruises. It's one of my favorite ladies in the entire world. Also, one of the big cruise influencers, which I now put her in that category because of the number of subscribers and followers she has. She's one that gives me the time of day. You know, a lot of the big folks just kind of try to ignore me because I'm too small. I can't help them near as much as they would help me. Emma's has never been that way, and I dearly love her for that. So always fun to catch up with Emma. All right, we got a couple of things to look at news-wise today. The vacations to go, and to be perfectly transparent, folks, I have used vacations to go numerous times as a travel agent. They are probably the largest travel agency, or one of them in the world. Have lots of folks, lots of travel agents working for them out of their home base in Houston. A couple interesting things in their weekly newsletter this week. CLIA, Cruise Line International Association, the world's largest cruise industry trade association, reports by the end of this month, 50% of the global cruise capacity will be in operation. That percentage will rise to 56% by the end of September, 82% by the end of December of 2021. In terms of passengers, hundreds of thousands of Americans have cruised since the industry restarted this summer, primarily in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Alaska, and the Mediterranean. And for vacations to go, you have 2 choices. They still they list cruises by vaccine required cruises, and they list cruises by vaccine not required. Of course, that not required could well be changing real soon. Yesterday, the Carnival Panorama sailed into Puerto Vallarta, the first cruise ship to return to Puerto Vallarta since the pandemic started. Was, of course, on its first sailing out of California in more than 17 months. They will also call at Mazatlan today, Cabo San Lucas tomorrow, before returning to California this weekend. Now, I have been to on that cruise. 3 times, I think I was. The very first time I went to Puerto Vallarta, of course, that was back in the late 70s, 78 or 9, maybe 80. I don't remember the year. But that's the bridge that went from Elizabeth Taylor's house, which is on the right side of the street. The bridge went over to Richard Burton's house, which was on the left side of the street. And we had, I think there was 6 of us, 3 couples, that we got off the boat and we rented a van, and the driver gave us, wanted to know if we liked to drink beer. And of course we said, yeah. He said, oh, my friend has a bar. I'll stop and get some beer. And I thought, boy, this is going to cost me some extra money. And we got, I think it was a case of beer, iced, that he put back in the back of the van for us to just grab one anytime we wanted it. And I believe it cost me $2 for the case. And it wasn't that bad a beer. But anyway, of course, when we got up to, he showed us this, the bridge between Elizabeth Taylor's and Richard Burton's house. I said, well, I got to go see if Liz wants to share a beer with us. So I went up and I knocked on the door. She wasn't there, but I did try at least. All right, Disney. It's joined the other cruise lines. They've changed their vaccination requirements. The new Bahamas regulations mean that all Disney cruise guests aged 12 and older must be fully vaccinated for sailings September 3rd through at least, the way they said it, at least November 1st. Guests must provide proof of vaccination to Disney by uploading their vaccination card to the Safe Passage by Inspire website no later than 24 hours before their sailing. Guests who choose not to provide proof of vaccination will not be permitted to board the ship. Guests under the age of 12 must still provide proof of a negative COVID PCR test taken between 5 days and 24 hours prior to the sail date by uploading their test results to the previously mentioned website. Did I say that? Did I say results? That's what I meant to say. I think my tongue might have stumbled there. Uploading their test results to the previously mentioned website. They will also be required to undergo a second PCR COVID test administered at the terminal prior to boarding. Disney Cruise Line is defining fully vaccinated guests as the following. Guests who have received both doses of Moderna, Pfizer, or AstraZeneca are considered fully vaccinated 14 days after the second dose has been administered. Guests who have received the Johnson & Johnson are considered fully vaccinated 14 days after receiving the 1 dose. There was some news on that this morning as well on the Johnson & Johnson booster. But that has not been affected, this status yet with the cruise lines. Guests with both 1 dose of Moderna and 1 dose of Pfizer are considered fully vaccinated 14 days after the second dose. Guests who have received 1 single dose of a vector vaccine like AstraZeneca and 1 single dose of an mRNA vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna are not considered fully vaccinated. So Disney has gotten into the real world now, so they can go to Bahamas. Of course, they've got Castaway Cay is their private island, and most of their current sailings stop on Castaway Cay in the Bahamas. So they're following the Bahamian regulations, as is now Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity. Of course, Norwegian was doing that ahead of time. They were the first, and when they won their lawsuit against Florida. All right, Boston. Haven't thought about sailing out of Boston in a long time. Boston is back online for the cruise industry. The first cruise ship has restarted out operations out of Boston, Massachusetts, as the cruise industry comeback continues beyond just Florida. Crystal Symphony, which is operated by Crystal Cruises, set sail from Boston on Monday, slightly delayed by Tropical Storm Henri. The fact that the luxury cruise ship set sail on a round-trip cruise to Bermuda one day late did not seem to matter too much to the officers, staff, crew, and the guests on board the cruise line's, actually their second vessel to resume operations. They were just thrilled to be sailing again. Crystal Symphony set sail with all guests and crew members fully vaccinated. The 7-day cruises will feature 2 full days and 2 nights in Bermuda. After completing 4 sailings from Boston's Flynn cruise port, Crystal Symphony will sail on 8 more luxury Bermuda escapes. These will sail round trip from New York's Manhattan Cruise Terminal starting September 24th. So they're in Boston now, and they're heading south to New York. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Crystal, guys. So, I don't know much about them. So I looked it up. I said, well, how much does one of these 7-night luxury cruises to Bermuda cost? And here's what I found out. An ocean view is like $2,000, but balcony's about $2,500. But they have a very small add-on for singles. It's not like a double like a lot of the cruise lines. The prices include gratuities, all alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, unlimited internet, and excursions. Plus, you receive a $250 per cabin onboard credit for select categories. So, if you factor all that in, that $2,000 all of a sudden gets down to a realistic price of $1,200 or so for a 7-night cruise. That's not all that much out of line. So just thought I'd point that out. All right, the CDC has made several changes to its travel advisories over the last few days, including those regarding 2 popular cruise destinations of the Bahamas and St. Martin. Both now have a rating from the CDC of level 4, which is very high for COVID. Both the Bahamas and St. Martin have played a considerable role in the restart of cruises in the region. The advisory from CDC comes when multiple ships travel to the islands, both St. Martin and the Bahamas, almost daily. With an increasing number of cruise ships sailing, it's just surprising that they've increased the advisory now from level 3 to level 4. The CDC is now saying that travelers should avoid travel to the Bahamas and St. Martin if possible, and if travel is necessary, to take precautions. These precautions include being fully vaccinated against COVID. So that's now required by the Bahamas. Travelers should follow recommendations or requirements in the Bahamas, St. Martin, and St. Martin, including wearing a mask and staying 6 feet apart from others, avoiding crowds, and washing and sanitizing hands. Well, of course, all cruise lines are doing that. One area that could affect cruise ship travel is whether insurance companies will still cover a trip to St. Martin or the Bahamas to join a cruise ship. The U.S. Department of State and the CDC recently aligned their travel advisories, also taking into account the political and environmental situation in the country, meaning the CDC's travel notice does carry weight now, and insurance companies have often aligned themselves with the Department of State. That was a little troubling to me. St. Martin has not gone as far as the Bahamas with the new vaccination regulations, although passengers embarking on a cruise in St. Martin have to buy COVID-19 insurance from the St. Martin government. Costs about $15 a person. When returning from a cruise in a level 4 a country, the U.S.-based passengers who have not been vaccinated are advised to self-quarantine and get tested with a viral test 3 to 5 days after travel. But if you're on a cruise ship, you've got to be vaccinated. They're all doing vaccinations. So this thing from the CDC, to me, it looks like a complete waste of time. I guess I suppose that would involve people that are traveling to the Bahamas and not on a cruise ship. Like if you're flying into St. Martin or you're flying into Nassau or for a vacation, it would apply to them. But seems to me the cruise lines are running 10 steps ahead of the CDC on this one. That's just my thinking. Most of you saw yesterday, if you were with me yesterday with the interview with Bubba, he does his daily beverage. He posted Wednesdays just before I came on the air, and it was a banana something. I don't know, it's different. But anyway, I put in the chat section, I put the links to his Facebook page, and also he posts the drinks on the Holland America fan page. So check him out in one place or the other if you want to follow Bubba's drinks. I enjoyed the Bubba interview immensely yesterday. That was terrific. All right, all kinds of comments this morning. Let's see if anybody's yelling at me or not. Tom's with us from down in Key West. Tom has had disappointing sunsets, he says. Monday on a boat, too cloudy. Last night at Mallory Square, again, cloud. Sorry about that. Cindy's with us. She says that maybe a good sunset tonight, Tom. Carol says hello to everyone. Gretchen's here. Tom, I can't feel sorry for you in Key West. How have your days been? Excuse me. A little sip. Tom says, hot. Still beautiful, I bet, says Gretchen. Tom says, yes. Carol says, hot here again in Orlando, 40 degrees. I never can remember what that means, so I'm glad you stuck that in 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I know it's 3/5 or 9/5 or something plus minus 32 and plus 14 and something craziness. So I have the same problem with meters to feet or yards. That's just me. Nikki's with us up in Jacksonville. Hi, Nick. Everybody speaking. Emily's here up in New York. Emily's been trying to get out on a sup. See, I've learned something, folks. Sup. That's a standing something. Stand-up paddleboard. That's what it is. Carol says, yes, Emily is on JJ Crew, and I believe it starts next hour. So it starts at 12. Or is it 1? Anyway, I love JJ Crew almost as much as I love Emily. They're fun guys to follow. Jason's with us as Emma tried Celebrity. Obviously, that was after you asked that question. She was talking about the silhouette. Carol says, I'll just stick with Princess. Eva Braun's here. Do you ever get seasick? That's a very good question, Eva. I don't. I know something tells me I'm getting bombed, folks. with Eva Braun and an Adolf Hitler. Anyway, I'm not sure who is doing that, but in case that's a serious question, I never get seasick, but Emma does. Emma, who cruises a ton, still has problems with getting seasick. So there are all kinds of things you can do for it. You can get the patch. You can get medicine to take if it does affect you. It has never bothered me. And I started cruising back in the days when they didn't have the nice stabilizers on the ship. Now, to me, you can go on the ship and smooth sailing, even in the rough seas. But those of you that ask, that have problems with seasickness, yeah, I understand it can be bad. I agree. Jason 14 is nice. Can't wait for 36, January 23rd. Wow. I'm not sure how or when my stream got muted. Anyway, so I'm back. Jack's with us down in Conroe, Texas, 86 degrees. And again, we're not sure about the trollers that we have today. I cruised 40 days around Fiji, New Zealand, and Tasmania in 2019 on the Sun Princess. It was an awesome cruise. Wow, that's another one that's on my bucket list, Carol. Nikki's with us. Jack, if you are following on YouTube, you can block by clicking on the offensive message in the upper right corner and choose block. If I'm on YouTube, and let's see, that's where I am. And aha, that took care of one. And boom. Okay. That took care of the other. All right. Sorry about that. I've never had to do that before. So I wasn't sure how to do it. So they're gone. Trolls are gone. Thank you guys for reporting them. I did block them. So why come here to chat, use Messenger? And you call me Hot Air Tom. Hard to get Chillie to stop talking long enough to axe a troll. Yeah, Tom, I agree. I know. 14 viewers, by the way. Emily reported both. Okay, I blocked out both, so we should have no more trouble with that. Bubba was great. He seems like a nice guy. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And by the way, I did not know Bubba ahead of time. Bubba went to school with a guy that I went to elementary school with, and I've known all my life. He lived on the street behind me growing up. And we went through middle school, maybe 1 year of high school, and then Van went to Fork Union Military Academy, which Bubba went to a year later. So my friend knew Bubba from Fork Union Military Academy. So Emily says, hot here today in New York. Yeah, it's hot everywhere on the East Coast now. It starts with Jack out there in Texas and covers the rest of the country, I think. Cindy, we love Bubba and Emma. Great interviews. Thank you very much. I enjoyed that. Sharon's with us. It's 88, but feels like 95 in Arlington. It's going to be 95 here today in Lynchburg, Sharon. Is it true inside cabins in the middle of a ship best for seasickness? I don't know. The only thing I know is when back in the old days, when you get banged around a little bit in rough seas, I mean, people were sick everywhere. I don't know if the cabins really make that much difference. But because I don't get seasick, I can't answer that. I'm sorry that Emma's gone, because Emma would be able to answer that, because she does some inside cabins, but she's done some balconies and some ocean views as well. Okay, I am back off the mute thing. Am I not? No sound audio, can't hear you. No sound, no sound. Your mute button, Chillie. I'm showing that I'm live, y'all. I'm not sure when you guys did this. I'm home and sick, running a temperature, no sleep last night, awful headache and body aches. Sorry about that. You still can't hear me? The mic's on. Huh. Been drinking Gatorade, but very nauseous. I'm trying to see back down here. We hear you. Okay, so I did get the volume back. I mean the audio back. Okay. Whew. Dorsey Park's with us. Hey, Dorsey. Good to see you again. Everybody's saying now that they hear me. So I'm not sure why I went out again. But anyway. Technical and Tom says, what did Chillie do now? I didn't do a damn thing, Tom. It must have happened when I kicked those trolls out. I'm guessing. But anyway. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap me up. I know. Now you can hear me, and I'm going to quit for the day. Oh, well. All right. That's going to wrap me up for today, guys. Again, it's been a good week so far. But, we've had a couple of really nice interviews. I hope to do a couple more. Cruise Amigos on Sunday. Our friend Sharon, our friend Elizabeth Stern from down in Cozumel will be with us. If this storm system doesn't develop and hit the Yucatan Peninsula again this weekend. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, but hopefully she'll be with us. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I'll see everybody same time, same station tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Travel and Cruise Industry News with me, the old fat travel guy. Later, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.